G'day fellas and welcome to a brand new Age of Empires video. I can't say custard game anymore. Every time I think about it, I just think of that YouTube comment that's like, custard game. Welcome to another custard game, and we've got quite a special one for you guys today. Now, I first and foremost want to apologize for not having the N4C overlay. For anybody watching or who watched N4C, you guys will be familiar with that beautiful overlay, and my lord, what an overlay that was. So, look, we're going to try our best to get our hands on it, but at the same time, I ask you to bear with me in this period without it, because it's going to be tough for both you and for I, as we do cast this custard game. But, ladies and gentlemen, welcome, because this is MegaRandom. That's correct. MegaRandom is in Age of Empires 4 right now. It's an incredibly popular map type that was in Age of Empires 2, and now we see it here in Age of Empires 4. So, spawning in on the south side of the map, we've got Salami in the red. He is playing, of course, the Abbasid dynasty, opening us up with a mill, opening us up with a mining camp, and dropping down that House of Wisdom behind his town center. Spawning on the opposite side of the map, in the color blue, it's going to be Corp, and he's going to be playing the Mongols for us. So I'm looking forward to seeing what he's got in store for us. Now, keep in mind, there's been changes to both of these civilizations in this, because we are currently in the PUP, the preview, the public update preview, I believe it's called. And there's been a whole bunch of changes. If you haven't seen the video already, it'll be the one that I uploaded just before this on the YouTube channel, where I talk about a whole bunch of these changes that come through. So for the Abbasid, as an example, they changed the Camel Archer, they've changed the Camel Rider. So there's a whole bunch of good stuff that got changed. And for the Mongols, I think there was just mainly a few bug fixes and stuff like that. Yeah, this is MegaRandom. So the idea of MegaRandom is that it can spawn any absolute way. And you can see that the spawn that we've actually got here is a really good spawn. Now, I just want to say, I love this design because it's so good, and I could honestly talk about this all day, about how good this map design is. If I could just take this map design right here, I should probably even look up the seed for you guys, just so that all of like the map creators, hold on, we're going to do it. We're going to break the fourth wall. So that's the map seed. You can see that's the European temperate. I would love to emulate this because you have a very clear direct path to your enemy, which promotes aggression, but at the same time, you have on the sides of the map, the edges of the map, not of a significant military importance or militaristic importance, you have these two ponds, and these two ponds have no shortage of their deep water fish either. And so it means you can boom over here, you can fight over here, and most importantly, there's two ponds. So if you go for this one, maybe your enemy goes for that one. And it, it really gives you a lot of diversity in strategies. And that's just this one map. There are so many different potential maps that you can have when it comes to MegaRandom. And that's why it's incredibly exciting to have it here in Age of Empires 4. Now, I should also make sure I thank Lidicor. If you're unfamiliar with Lidicor, he's a fellow Age of Empires 4 caster, does a lot of content for this. Now, this is a show match that he actually hosted between Corp and Salami. Now, I think we're coming in about like halfway at the moment, so I'm not going to be doing these in order. I'm just rather, looking at the good maps and being like, oh, I want to cast that one, I want to cast that one, because there's going to be a lot of new maps that are coming in with the PUP, with the brand new... Oh, that's I know that. Okay, that sound that I just made, I thought it was Mr. Burns, but it's not. And someone actually corrected me in the comments of a YouTube video. So shout out to you, guy. It's Sideshow Bob that makes that sound when I'm pretty sure when he steps on the rakes. So there's like these rakes that get set up, and he just like steps on each of the rake and is like, he steps on the rake and he's like, ugh. It's that sound. When I hear that wolf sound, oh my god, that is so painful. Calling all modders, can we get a mod that removes the wolf sound? Holy shit, man. Just replace it with a nice gentle like, my little pony, my little pony. That will be perfect. Because it's saying like My Little Pony, like your horse is under attack, that kind of thing. Music is quite loud at the moment. I gotta be real with you guys, so I will speak up so that you can hear everything. We see Wheelbarrow coming in already for Salami. We'll check on the other side of the map. We'll see what Corp is up to. We've got some beautiful music coming through. Before I started this, I paused the game. And I went away and I shut the bedroom door over that way, so it doesn't wake up the missus. And Nice little raid here. And when I got back, the Mongolian music was really going. I'm like, man, I can get into this. I can do some like the throat singing. Like it really gets going when you're doing the perspective of the Mongols. But nice little raid coming in. So already we see the Mongols doing a bit of harassment down here on the mining camp, and you can see some of the beautiful UI changes that are coming in here. So obviously you can see that they've got +5 versus fire, and that is because of the House of Wisdom. So this bad boy right here, it gives +5 against fire. So not every Civ gets that. So it means that these bad boys that are doing 10 torch damage, only doing 5 against this mining camp. So really cool little thing that you can actually see on the UI now. So there's that. There it is, dude. You are, I can confirm you guys will get Mongolian throat singing in this video at some point. I can't guarantee that it's going to be good. I can't guarantee that it's going to be accurate. And we can actually see villagers being so tough against these early horsemen. They're like, yo, what up, man? I'll fuck you up. And that's exactly what they proceed to do. So Salami, once again, losing a bit of a mistake right there from Salami. And it's uncommon to see Salami make a mistake. You guys do know he's a big fan of the Delhi and the Abbasid. Yeah, Salami here. Couple of horsemen there on pretty low health. Wait, I can select those out of the... Oh, there we go. There we go. Okay, there's a little bit of a vision bug. This could be bad for Corp. Okay, Corp picks it up, though. Yeah, so big shout out going out to Ludicor. I'll leave a link in the description over to his content if you're wanting to check out more AoE4 content. Of course, always go check out Ludicor. I encourage you guys to do that. He's a good friend of mine and a great caster. Interesting mechanic right there that we're seeing where the spears do the auto brace. I feel like they probably need to change the way that spears auto brace. I'm not sure if you guys saw it in N4C. There was a bit of a bug with the auto brace. And so one of the players was like charging his cavalry forward. I think it was Marine Lord was charging his cavalry forward, and it was causing the spears to brace, and it was like protecting his mangonels. It was actually kind of weird. So he would pull back the cavalry and then charge them forward, and then pull them back and charge the cavalry. And every single time that he would charge his cavalry, the spears would brace. And there was nothing that, I think it was Beastie Cutie at the time, there was nothing that he could do to stop it. Now we see second town center going to come down up against the Mongol player at 7 minutes, by the way. Horseman, get out of here. Looks like he wants to try and get on the foundation. Isn't going to be successful. A couple spears going to be coming out now. Now, this is kind of crazy from Salami, dropping down an early town center like this up against the Mongols, which, by the way, you haven't done a lot of scouting. I mean, you actually haven't scouted the dock either. I think that was quite early. But, like, you think about it, right? Like, you know where the enemy player is. He's right here as a Mongol player. One of the most aggressive civilizations. And you're like, yeah, you know what? I'm just going to drop down a second town center in the middle of the map. Come at me, bro. Like, it's kind of wild. Let's see if Corp actually comes at him. I mean, Corp behind this now, really going for it. We see the archery range coming down, so playing in age 2. And you can see that we've got the global queue down here to the bottom left. Now, I don't know exactly how that formats. We'll have to see later in the game how it works out, but you can see Archer's going to be coming out, cleaning up those spears. He's probably going to be moving into Horseman. No Horseman upgrade just yet. Blacksmith also coming out. Improved Siege Engineering immediately underway. Now, I'll be honest, I don't actually like Improved Siege Engineering if you're playing Feudal with Archers. I just don't think it's worth it, unless you're looking for some sort of timing, because that's valuable stone that you could be spending on something else. And it's 175 stone, so like if you were to think about this in terms of archers, you know, it's 2 batches of archers, so you're missing 2 archers on the front here by taking that. So to me, it looks like Corp is definitely playing more of an age 2. So my suggestion to you guys, if you're, you know, if you're playing the Mongols, oh, I got to change it before that makes any sounds. Oh, we're lucky. God, that thing spooks me out, dude, when it makes that. It's not even spook. It's just like not even annoys me. It's just so loud and like obnoxious. Like, there you go. It's bad. But essentially, if you're going to be looking to play early with the Mongols age 2, that's your focus. Go for Siege Engineering. Don't go improve Siege Engineering until you're thinking about getting up to the next stage, because you can always bring it in at a later time. You just got to pay the stone difference, and you have to pay to or you have to just, you know, research the tech again a second time. So it does take time. But now we see that Camel Archer coming through. Going to be picking up a few archers there. Same time, Khan going to be coming out here. Getting attacked by that Horseman. Horseman going to be doing some stabbing, and forward outpost going to be coming down for Corp. So going to be looking to provide a little bit of aggression. Now, keep in mind, Corp did go up with the deer stones, so he's going to be able to provide that Yam network over to those archers. They're going to be able to run extra fast, including the maneuver arrow as well. He's really going to be moving across that field very quickly. And now we see that Camel Archer, as well as that Horseman, might be going down, but at the same time, you can see he's really chasing it away. He wants to kill this Khan. He actually gets it too, so impressive stuff right there from Salami. Good commitment. Camel Archer also survives. Now he's starting to build up that mass, and this is the composition that we are seeing out a lot from Abbasid players. It is the Camel Archer plus the Horseman combo in H2. Very, very strong. Difficult to deal with. Great at tanking stuff up. But now we see a second outpost coming down in the middle. Already the first one's coming through. We can see that it's got the arrow slits on the way. Villager going to go down. Wasn't careful. Now going to be looking to siege this outpost before the arrow slits come up. So a very nice move there from our Abbasid Dynasty player, Salami. Now we can see that the units continue to move forward. He's got to be careful here. These archers going to be moving down towards the villagers. He doesn't have the textile upgrade. So keep in mind with the textile upgrade, obviously going to have a little bit more health there. Able to tank a few more archer shots. It looks like one vill goes down. Second villager goes down. He's going to be focusing here on the military units instead of on the villagers, because if he focuses on those villagers, he's going to lose all of his military. And that's typically not a good position to be in. But now we can see that... I mean, realistically, I just want to say, like, I love this map. I love the design as the fight goes out. Like, I'm not too worried about balance on a map like this. Obviously, it's something that can get tightened up, but just from a standpoint, this is one of the best... No, I will say, this is the best hybrid map I've ever seen. There are a few changes that I would like to make. I would move the starting town center. Actually, I was going to say I would move the starting town center. That's not the starting town center. I would try and get players back towards the edge of the map not as far as possible. I would just be very careful about spawning them too close, because they are going to be like pretty close to each other. But I guess that's one of the charms of the map. It does favor. I mean, it can spawn anyway in MegaRandom, but I mean, if you were going to take this map and turn it into a standard map, I would be saying, like, let's just try and move those spawns a little bit further away. Like, maybe you make the player 1 start over on this side, and maybe you make player 2 like start down here, something like that, just to try and like make it a little bit bigger, and then it sort of gives them like a natural pond to expand to as well. But raids coming down now in the base of Corpse. Salami got to be careful not to lose his units. You can see that YAM network buffing up those units. Does lose a horseman. Got to get that going a little bit closer, but you can see 8 villagers in the queue right now for Salami. That is a huge amount, but obviously he went up with the economic wing, so paying for a lot less, or paying a lot less for those villagers. He's now going to be moving out to his second berries, also dropping down an outpost as well. Now keep in mind, Corp is on the fish at this point in time. We still get that annoying message, population capacity reached. I don't know why. It kind of annoys me as a spectator to see that. Devs, can we get some spectator updates, and can that be one of them? Can I just not get that message? Like, it really doesn't enhance, like, it doesn't enhance the viewer experience. I gotta be real with you guys. So who knows? Maybe we get that for 2023. That's a keck dub right there. Look, devs have got a big pipeline to go through. Let's just say that. It's not the devs' fault, it is the processor's fault that updates are a little bit late. So always, I want to be careful when I'm like saying stuff like that. I'm not blaming the devs, because it's not their fault. It is rather the processor's fault. But now we can see that Horseman coming out, doing a pretty good job. And you can see the dream composition of the Abbasid Dynasty really starting to shine, because he's able to actually one-shot spears. It's so hard fighting in these battles, though, because it's really difficult to spot the spears with the Stealth Forest. Villager continuing to come forward now. He's lost quite a fair bit up here. And the Mongol military numbers continue to climb. He's doing a pretty decent job of that villager trying to sneak that outpost up. It's definitely optimistic, we'll say that much. But we'll tune back in with Corp and we'll see how he's doing. You can hear those Abbasid voice death lines. They're just always the best Abbasid voice lines. You know, whenever a house gets finished, you've got the... Hold on. This is Drongo impersonating a female villager who just completed a house from the Abbasid Dynasty. Ah! Oh, God. Oh, I really hope there was someone who fast forwarded the video until that point, and they were just like, they just got greeted with that. Like, welcome, fellas. But now you can see it looks like Salami going to be heading up to that next stage, or at least thinking about it. He's starting to stack up those resources. And that's this is typically what Abbasid Dynasty love to do. You know, get out this nice early military composition, defend the second town center, build that villager lead. You can see at the moment, 58 up against 52, so just a mild villager lead at the moment. And then transition that into a Castle Age play. So whether he looks to go for men-at-arms into mangonels, you know, the very, very common strategy that comes out from players, we'll have to see. Triple pasture now coming out as well from Corp, so he's looking pretty strong. And still building up the military numbers, but you can see that Corp also going to be looking to get up to the next stage. A bit of a raid coming out now. Almost a little bit of a mistake. He doesn't actually see the outpost until he gets attacked by it. He's going to be forced back from it. We'll take a look at Salami's perspective. He sees plenty coming out here. And I mean, I guess now we can probably take a look at relic distribution. As I say that, though, players intent on looking to kill each other. You see the horseman coming through. I feel like it's probably not enough horsemen. Does he have +1? He doesn't actually have the +1 upgrade, but you can see he's just picking up the spears. Salami doing a great job with that. Now going to be taking out the majority of these units. And with the camels, also remember that the camels have an aura against these horsemen, -2 damage. So it reduces the damage that the horsemen are putting out there. So really nice unit composition here from Salami, but he's just going to have to fall back, spending a little bit too many resources on aging up, not enough resources on his military mass. Falls back. Obviously, he's got his outpost here that he's going to be able to defend with. These guys have got that stone upgrade as well. I don't know what to call it. The health upgrade is probably the best way to do it. Steeled arrow also coming in, so looking to get the +1. Both players pretty close to getting up to the next stage, but exaggerated death voice lines once again of the Abbasid camels, quite beautiful. We'll switch it over to Corp. We'll see exactly what he's up to. So continuing to expand over towards this eastern front. You can see he's got a lot of good techs that he can work with here, but so many fish out on this position as well. He's going to be very happy with this. By the same token, it seems to be pretty even with regard to fish count in both of these ponds. I'm so impressed with this map. This is MegaRandom. It is just, you can get absolutely anything. Now you can see that there's one sacred site in the middle. There's a second sacred site over here. And there is a third sacred site over here. And it's like, it is on the island. So it's really kind of weird. It can go any way. And like, you would never expect the sacred site to be over here. But there it is. You know, there it is. Like the tiniest little island. Imagine as the deli. You just go capture that immediately. This could be really hard to hold. Like, if you think about it, right? Like, you're going for a sacred site victory or something like that. It'd be so easy to just, like, do a quick drop and come over here. Because if you wanted to, put a lot of units over here, you could do that. But if you wanted to build a keep or a castle, outposts, you don't have a lot of space. You would have to chop through this forest before you do it. Yeah, curious. I mean, and then other things as well. Like, note that there is a gold vein over here, which is very, very safe for the south player, but keep in mind, like, as the north player, you could very easily raid this if you've got units over here. Like, imagine just a drop coming in, bam, hits it like really hard, because you would think that that's pretty safe, right? And for all intents and purposes, it is a very safe it's a very safe move out there. But there is a lot of resources, but I think that's one of the things you want to be careful. You can see there's kind of an arm up on this position as well. Uvu is depleted. You've heard it here first. I think is that a Kurultai that we're getting? No, it's a step out. It's a step out, Drongo. You wouldn't be so crazy to see a Kurultai here. Not in the pup. Not in the pup. Now, by the time you guys see this, which will probably be like 6 hours after I'm recording this, you can still get access to the pup. So I'll leave a link in the description as to how you can do that. But keep in mind, it's probably going to be going down shortly. And when I say shortly, like a couple of days at most. So if you're watching this like 2 days after it gets uploaded, just keep in mind, probably not going to be able to access the pup. So what players are playing on right now, as we see a battle beginning to unfold, is a version of the game that is going to be released shortly. So it is imminent to be released. And now we see that town center slowly getting worked down. You can see the villagers going to be repairing it up. It looks like we've got ourselves a little bit of an attack speed arrow coming up above the Khan. He's going to be looking to focus down. The majority of these archers are not having a lot of success. You can see that he's being forced back here. The horseman numbers continuing to dwindle. Ideally looks to trade out these villagers. And now you can see they do have that plus 25 health. So now I'm going to have to start speaking really loud because Corp's aged up as well. There's a lot of action here. I definitely should have checked my levels before coming into this game because we are getting loud and proud in here, ladies and gentlemen. At least... No, it's not me. I was looking at the levels. I'm like, no, it is really getting loud in here. +1 coming through for these men-at-arms as well. So now Phalanx also going to be coming through for Salami. He is looking to come online. You can see Veterancy is in queue as well. So he is looking to try and make his Abbasid dynasty a true, I don't know, dynasty? I don't even know what you'd say. Like, Ram going to be going down, though. He's taking out that initial outpost. Could probably move towards the next outpost. And this is like the typical timing that you do see out of the Abbasid dynasty. Like 18-minute castle, pretty late, but obviously an aggressive H2. But now going to be going into an infantry-based composition and will largely be thinking about getting mangonels. So you can see now he's working towards crossbows, spears, and men-at-arms. And now it looks like we actually see a Hulk come. I saw a Hulk. Was there a Hulk somewhere? There was a Hulk. It's a Backler. I apologize, a Backler. Backlers on both sides. We're going for a little bit of a double Backler wombo combo. These guys were buffed up in the most recent patch. When I say the most recent patch, I mean this version. And we can see, oh, it changed to arrows? Has it always been like that? I don't know if it's always been like that. It's weird. It's an attack ship that fires arrows. I don't remember. You know what? Maybe it always had that. But you can see it's got a harpoon on it as well. Or a ballista. I think they buffed this dude. I don't ever remember seeing the ranged arrows coming out of the Backler. Maybe I'm just going crazy. Is Drongo going crazy? More backlist now coming out. Now, keep in mind, these guys are cheap as chips. They are really cheap. Like, they are barely more expensive than a galley. And they are an attack ship, so they do a lot of damage. These guys are, like, sleeper OP, I'm telling you. When they buff them, I'm like, bro, I know that people think that they're bad, but for real, they're actually good. Now you can see the Mangonel come up. Dude, look how slow the Mangonel takes to build. And he's building it in a bit of an exposed spot. So this is one of the things, right? Oh, but then he goes for the reverse Mangonel. So if you spot this coming out from your enemy, look how many units he's got doing this. Okay, I'm starting to feel like this might be balanced. There's a bit of counterplay here. If you spot your enemy building the Mangonel, you push them. You force them to fight. You say, all right, you want to get that Mangonel up? Look how long it takes. This is actually good. This is something I talked about in the patch review video, was just how good that looked. And that you got to be careful not to over-nerf things. And, I mean, that looks pretty good. Both Mangonels coming out for one player each, or rather, one Mangonel coming out for each player. Now, a bit of a battle going to be coming off. We'll head into the cinematic mode as we begin to watch how this battle unfolds. Mangonel firing down upon the siege of his enemy, or rather, the archers of the enemy, but the men-at-arms beginning to overwhelm. You can see the veteran camels have finally come in. They're going to be working their way down on these units, but it looks like there wasn't enough infantry brought forward. But at the same time, we've got a keep that's come up, and now we're looking pretty damn good for Salami right now. Salami looking very strong. He is really looking to take control of this area, and now we see him already adding in that stone mine as well, or looking to harvest from that stone mine. The new MegaRandom, I gotta say, man, I absolutely love it. It is such a beautiful map. This, like 100%, this is the best hybrid map I've ever seen. And in saying that, I think that when it comes to the complexity of hybrid maps, it almost puts it at being the best map. So I just want to reiterate that point, that at the moment, I don't think there has been a single good hybrid map. Every single hybrid map has had water as a core component of the military. What do I mean by that? I mean Boulder Bay. You have to walk around the bay. You are going to get exposed to constant fire if you are walking around that bay. Danube River. There is literally a river running through the middle of the map. You can try and go around it, but my lord, if you try and go around that, you're going to be taking your sweet ass time. There's just no incentive there to not contest water. Mongolian Heights. Literally a river running through the middle of the map with crossings. Confluence. 2 rivers running through the middle of the map with crossings. They're like every single... I guess the only real exception is kind of Nagari, but even then, with the central pond, it's imperative that you maintain control over that. Whereas in this situation, I feel like it's a lot more viable to have this sort of delayed fishing boom that we've seen from both players here. Look to try and secure up a side each. It's just such a well-designed map that has come out literally on the very first time I'm watching MegaRandom. I'm seeing the most beautiful map gen, and got to be careful here. Villagers on the back line. Mangonel on firing. He's looking to get himself a little bit deep in here. He's actually dying faster than what he was built, which is kind of crazy when you think about it. But I mean, this new change is looking very, very good, I gotta say. Traction Trebuchet is now coming out as well for Corp. I'll be honest with you guys, I'm in absolute awe at how good this map is, and like big shout out to the devs, the designer who came up with this. You've done a great job, because just the very first iteration of this MegaRandom map has made me say, I want this map. I want to see this map being remade, because you have a very straightforward middle of the map. If you don't want to go water, you don't have to go water. You know, it's very easy to do this. This is something that we saw a lot in Age of Empires 3, and I loved the hybrid maps in Age of Empires 3. In Age of Empires 4, though, I absolutely deplored them. So, you know, it's great to see that it's coming out here. Salami doing a great job in this map as well. He's looking very strong, ladies and gentlemen. I just realized we've got the scores coming up on the screen right now. I'm not typically a big advocate of scores, so you won't see them in the next game, but you can see that Salami is quite ahead of Corp. Now, Corp obviously on the defensive here is going to be trying to hold on. The keepers come down, and you can see Salami's actually got plenty of resources in the bank. If he wants to go for a second keep, he's going to be able to do it. But the issue is that for Corp, he's going to try and get Traction Trebuchets in here. These guys don't have the longest range, so a range of 13 tiles versus the Springled with a range of 10. And obviously they've got setup time, so they kind of get put into a difficult position. And now we can see that slowly Salami sieges down the base of Corp. He's really taking control of this game. If you take a look at the mini-map, you can see it's looking absolutely beautiful. I tell you what, guys, I'm just such a fan of this map. I cannot state just how amazed I am at how beautiful this is. We actually see Salami sitting at max pop 23 minutes into the game. Corp, on the other hand, I don't think there's any chance he holds this. 129 pop for him. He's lost water over on the right-hand side, and if you've ever watched an Age of Empires 3 video, you know that once you've lost water, it makes it very tough to come back into the game at this point. I mean, he's trying to hold on. You can see, he looks like he's preparing for one final fight. We see a Springald going to be coming in from him here. A couple Springalds moving forward. He's got a lot of resources in the bank, but just not a lot of military production buildings to try and get them out. Springald emplacements coming through on the outpost down towards this south position as well. Villagers moving forward, and you can see he might be intent on dropping down a keep here. I'm not sure exactly what he's thinking about. You can see the way that he's moving up. He's very intent on securing this position. And now we hear that Uvu going down, and it looks like he's just attacking. It's the classic villager on villager action that you love to see from Salami. You know him as this villager on villager guy. Now Mangonel's firing off. You've got to be careful with that infantry mass. That is a very tight Mangonel shot range or shot radius that they've got there. So always want to be careful with those mangoes. Or against those mangoes. But now the town center going to be under fire here. I'm going to be entering into the cinematic mode just because it looks like Corp going to be pushing out. Now, ladies and gentlemen, the trebuchets are beginning to unfold, looking to get their rocks off and not really achieving too much there. I didn't even see the rocks come down, and you can see the Springald control just being very impressive now from Salami, moving them forward with almost, you know, without any real issue. But you know, great. Hey, I just realized, can we get a mod that changes the mangonels and Springalds and trebuchets so that there's little dudes there now? Because that was like a big sticking point. People didn't like that in the beginning. They're like, hey, I don't like that there's no little dudes on my siege. Yo, we can mod that now. We can mod that. Yo, we can do that. We can do that. Calm down. Our best modders are on the case. And now you can see Salami. Speaking of on the case, look at this. Salami now pushing forward with another outpost traction. Trebuchets unfolding with what sounds like Lord of the Ring trees. Like the way that they move. Listen, listen. That's the little sound of the rock. I don't even think he fired them off. And now you can see him having to fall back even further. Trebuchet is just moving so slow because he's grouping them together. Ideally, you want to move your siege not with your army. And now you can see the trebuchets unfolding. He's actually firing the trebuchets at the Springalds. Springalds not going down because the villagers are healing. Can we nerf this, yo? This needs to be nerfed immediately. This is so strong, and now going to be going down. It's not going to be enough, I suspect. Indeed, it does go down. Mangonel's on the back line, looking to unfold, and we see the men-at-arms beginning to move into the battle, heading in towards the town of Corp, and Corp really under attack. You can see a lot of the rams coming out. Looks like 4 rams. That's almost enough for a ranch. And now the Mangonel going to be firing off a lot of crossbows on the back. We can see Salami trying to hold on the 3 Mangonels. The 3 Mangonels, they're looming, they're looking, they're finding, and they're going to take out all of them. And Corp, GG's. He says, no, my friend. It cannot be. Well, fellas, there you go. MegaRandom is in. Big shout out to Littlecore. He hosted this match, this show match. So thank you to him. MegaRandom looking absolutely beautiful. Fellas, I'm looking forward to it. I hope you are as well. I'll catch you guys in the next one.